Today's video is sponsored by SwitAirsoft.com.
Hello and welcome back to the Airsoft Mike YouTube channel, and this is the HECKLER P8A1, brought to you by UMAREX, OEM'd by VFC and upgraded by SwitAirsoft.com. Now I know you're looking at the thumbnail and thinking, hold on, that's the USP. Well, technically you're correct. However, this is the military version of the USP, the P8A1. And during this video, I'll be showing you some of the subtle differences between this airsoft military version of the P8A1 and the much loved and very popular USP. Let's do this. Okay, so let me just first show you around the box. It's got a nice gold UMAREX sticker right there, almost like a hologram. Okay, so nothing spectacular, and you've got the usual no compromise. So let's get the box open. And the first thing you're greeted with is the pistol itself, but we need to take a quick look at what's underneath this section. So let's just get that out, put that to one side. You will also get a metal key. Now that's for your hop-up adjustment, and I'll show you how this works a little later. Now underneath here, yes, again, because this was upgraded by SwitAirsoft.com, they put the original parts back in the box. So right here you have your inner barrel and your hop-up bucking. And here she is. She looks gorgeous. You know, one of the first things that struck me about this pistol is how authentic this looks, how real it looks compared to the real thing. I wouldn't expect anything less because it's an officially licensed one, so it's blessed by HK, so why wouldn't it look authentic? Right, let's kick this off with all of your real steel, authentic looking trades. So on the top slide right here, you can see your HK P8A1. We move along to all your proof markings, and again, I'm very impressed at how faithful this is to the real one. You've even got your antlers right there, and we have your serial number. Now, I do have an issue with the serial number, but I'll get back to that in a moment. As we move along, you've got more of your markings. Of course, you've got your caliber right here. So on the real one, it would also say this. So it's your 9mm. You have your F and S for your fire and safety. Now, I know there's nothing in this, okay? However, I'm just gonna pop it on safe. And then of course, on the grip, you have your HK P8A1. Spinning it around, and I'll tell you what, you see, there's quite a few stickers on there. Let me get rid of these stickers and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and sticker free. So have a look here at this grip. On this side, there's no markings. On the other side, there is. And guess what? That's exactly like the real P8A1. So I've been talking about it. Now let me just throw up an image of the real P8A1 and look how identical they are. Now, can you see any difference between the two? I can, but they're so subtle. And there's one which is quite obvious, and I'll go into that right now. Look at the slide, the base of the slide, where you can see the proof markings, the white print, and the serial number. Specifically, look at the one in my hands, the one on the right, the airsoft version. You will see the markings are much more prominent. Also, you will see that my serial number is there, loud and proud. But if you look on the photographed one on the left, the real P8A1, the serial number has been removed, and obviously that has been done on purpose for the purpose of photos, media and video. We tend not to show real serial numbers on real pistols. Another difference between the two is if you look at the trigger on the real one on the left, it is much further back than the airsoft version on the right. The only reason for that is if you look at the real one on the left, it has been cocked. Look, the hammer is back. That will be exactly the same later on when I cock the airsoft version. So really, that is no difference whatsoever. And you might see one or two more very minor discrepancies between the two. If you do, feel free to comment down below. So going back to your real steel trades and markings and whatnots, what was being hidden by that Made in Taiwan sticker before was this authentic looking marking right here where it says HK Sidearms GmbH Made in Germany. And then we move along to the barrel where you have a serial number and again HK along with your 9mm caliber markings. And if you look just beneath that lower rail, you will see another serial number on a metal plate and some more HK authentic looking markings. So let's go through the features. Let's start from the rear. You've got your hammer, which is almost invisible. You've just got a little piece of it right there, but of course when you cock it you will see it more. You've got your safety lever with your safety and fire positions right there, and a little later I'll show you how that differs to the USP version. You've got your slide catch and release, or as I like to keep saying, your slide lock and release. And I didn't even notice this before. Can you see right there? On the real version, I can see CIP and N, but on this version, it's some kind of symbol. I have no idea what that is. Again, if you know, drop them comments. And of course, you've got your serrations right there so you can get a good purchase when racking the slide. So the sights on the real version will look more or less exactly the same, but the actual dots will be more of a green color. As we move along, we move further down the pistol where you have your mag. To release your mag, just like the USP, you've got your mag release right there on the trigger guard, and of course both sides. So you simply get your forefinger and thumb to release the mag. Now, if you're familiar with the real version of this mag, you will know that the real version is translucent. You can actually see through to the actual rounds that are in the magazine. Not so with this airsoft version. And of course, on the base, on this airsoft version, there's your gas valve. Oh, and look, of course, I found more markings. So, as we move along this epic looking pistol, we come to the front where you can see your inner barrel. Now that of course to the untrained eye will still look like a real pistol, but if you look at it you can tell this is an airsoft one because you've got a smaller inner barrel. Now of course this is the upgraded barrel, so this is a precision barrel which will of course accommodate for a 6mm BB, although if you really want to split hairs, I don't know if you've noticed, 6mm BBs are not really 6mm, they're a little bit smaller. And then we have right here the place where you adjust your hop up. Now that's what makes this so much more different than say your Glocks and your, you know, many other types of airsoft pistols where you have to remove the slide to get to your hop up adjustment. Not with this bad boy, you do it right here on the front, which is where your metal key comes into play, and I'm so happy they made this metal and not plastic. Now before I adjust the hop up, I'm going to remove the mag. Now I know a few of you will laugh and say, oh, it's just a toy gun, it's just an airsoft gun, it doesn't matter. You will know that when you're dealing with airsoft guns, or real guns more so, it's always safe practice to remove the mag. And make sure your airsoft weapon is clear, which I did before filming this video. Especially when you're tinkering about with the business end. To adjust the hop-up, you simply insert your key right there until it goes in no further and adjust accordingly. Now we get to the trigger. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, and it's my personal opinion. I've never been a fan of these, what I would consider standard looking triggers where it just curves around like that. But the more I look at this and the more I get a feel for it and have my finger in there, because as you can see, the trigger literally hugs your finger and it feels really comfortable. So yeah, I've been converted. I absolutely do like these triggers. It's not always about your fancy schmancy triggers like this or even this. Don't get me wrong, I love all of those types of triggers also, but this one is just so practical. Now, let me just show you something else, and before I go there, you see what I'm doing here with my hand? I don't know if that's tactical or awkward or just very cool, I don't know, but I was watching one of my favourite TV shows called Strike Back, and a couple of the operatives in that, they were walking around looking to clear a building and they were holding their pistols like this. What's that all about? Drop your comments down below, or even like this. What I wanted to show you is that this pistol is single and double action. So, hold on, let me just drop that mag. You can fire this pistol from that position and look at how far back your trigger goes. And there's your reset. Now, if you were to fire from this position, which you can, because again, it's a single and double action, you've got a lot further to travel and it's a lot more firmer too. So you really got to give it some welly for it to fire. Let's listen for that reset point. And there it is. Now let me show you how this functions just like the real thing. Although you can only see 2 positions here, it actually has 3. So you've got your fire, your safe, but if you push it down further, and before I do that, let me cock that hammer, it decocks that hammer, watch. Now again, if you're doing any maintenance or you're just going to take the slide off for whatever reason, remember to remove the mag. Now if you look carefully, you can see a piece just behind this lever right here, just between this lever and the slide. There's a little piece right there. You want to line that up with this gap right here. So simply get that finger off that trigger. Schoolboy error. So simply pull it back. And then if you go too far, just allow it to slide forward, and there it is. You see that piece I was talking about? It's now lined up. And then you push this little button right here, which will push your lever out. And Bob's your uncle. So let's have a quick look at your slide, the internals, and you can probably see straight away how it differs from, say, like the Glocks and many other pistols. And here's your lower frame. So, quick look at the design and the ergonomics of this pistol. Now, it's got no finger grooves, but it appears to me of late, especially what with the newer generations of Glocks and previous ones in the past, not having finger grooves, it seems to be a thing. Not everyone likes finger grooves. So this doesn't have it, but what it does have is some nice checkered texture on there that will give you a really good grip on the front and of course on the back strap, and then of course a stippling effect on your side panels, on the front of your trigger guard, and you've got a little something something right here on your hammer. Nice bit of serrations to give you a good grip when cocking the hammer. And of course on your slide release lever, or lever if you're from the States. So here's a quick comparison between the P8A1 and the USP. This is the P8A1, this is the USP. And the first thing that stands out for me is the HK logo. On the P8A1, it's more subdued. On the USP, it's big, red and bold. And then we get to the fire selector switch. On the P8A1, the F and the S is on the body of the pistol, but on the USP, the F and the S is actually on the fire selector switch with a big bold white line on the body of the pistol. And the functionality of your fire selector switch is reversed. On the newer P8A1, pushing the lever down puts it in safe. On the USP, pushing the lever up puts it on safe. And as already shown on the P8A1, you adjust your hop up from the front. Okay, let's get it ready for the shooting test. No. Anyway, as always, I never test these things before I start filming, so this is the first ever shot since it's been in my hand, so I'm going to see if this works. Here goes. Oh, two more. Pap, pap. Nice. Let's see what we get on the chrono. 319.6, 314.1, 308.2, starting to drop. 308.8, picking up again. 306.5, 305.9, 299.8, and 303.7. So I'm pretty happy with that. We are looking around the 300 FPS mark. And you know, sometimes when you do chrono tests with gas blowbacks and they start to drop, this one picked itself up again. So it's not like consistently dropping down. So that's decent. Oh, hell yeah! That has to be some of the tightest groupings I have ever had. Right, so let me just empty this mag and see if it locks back after the last round has been spent. Oh, beautiful. Nice. So what are my initial thoughts on this UMAREX /VFC /HK P8A1? Well, I love it. If you love the USP, there's no reason why you wouldn't love this, unless the fire selector switch isn't your thing, how it does it the other way around. Putting that aside, the fact that it's been upgraded by SwitAirsoft.com makes it just that bit better and awesome when it comes to accuracy. I'm absolutely loving that this airsoft version is almost identical to the real version. And remember I mentioned about the serial number, or should I say serial numbers? I wish they were all matching. Now if you like what you see, and remember this is the upgraded version, and you'd be quite surprised at the price, head over to SwitAirsoft.com. Thanks again to them for sending this out to me. There'll also be a direct link in the video description. And thank you most of all for watching another Airsoft Mike video on the Airsoft Mike YouTube channel. I'll catch you next time.